on after the draft. I will be on Driving to the Top Productions. If you're watching this on Driving to the Top, we're having our annual draft as well, so you can watch us all the way through during the draft. I certainly will be on for the Ravens pick for sure. So definitely check that out. I'll be there for that as well. But you can check out Rich and Dylan and Haas and all of us here on the Ravens Sports Podcast. We definitely check that out as well. So we appreciate you all there for that. Genesis Notary Services has been busy. So that's been great as well. So we want to thank all of you in the Winchester, VA area. Had a client today strictly from Winchester, saw what we've been doing on social media. They actually said that, so we appreciate all of you out there who've been sharing that as well. That's how they found us. So we want to thank all of you for that as well. Come on in. I know we're a little late for those of you that are coming in, so we want to thank you as well. Genesis Notary Services is in Winchester. Also, see Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield. Definitely check that out. If you haven't subscribed to all of our platforms, so definitely the Twitch channel, we have videos on there. Rumble, we have videos on there. Spotify, like my daughter loves Spotify, loves to listen to Spotify. Definitely too, there's an audio format on there where you can listen to the podcast and everything on there. We're going to continue to do interviews as well. We got a couple. We got one coming up this week that we're going to record tomorrow. It's on Saturday. Y'all ain't ready for this one. I expect to get a lot of reaction from this. One of these guests we're working on here shortly as well. And I haven't had a chance to thank Phil Wood. How cool is that? So Phil Wood is definitely to check it out on the channel. We were talking a whole hour with Phil Wood. You think you know sports? We talked about that until you actually talked to Phil Wood. Phil Wood was a guy as a little kid I listened to every day. Phil Wood on WCBM in Baltimore. Just a brilliant baseball, especially not just baseball, but just brilliant person in general. So definitely check it out. I got to talk baseball with Phil, so that was outstanding with that. We know what tomorrow. The draft. So let's go. Final mock draft, because the draft obviously is tomorrow night. So this is the last one that we're going to go ahead and chop it up. This is when we get here. Obviously, it's tomorrow. This is all predicted in general. So you have the first mock draft. This is some of what I would do, what I team, what we're hearing early. Second is okay, a little bit less of that, what we're hearing, etc. A little bit of this is all the fourth one predicted, right? What we've heard, who we've heard, what teams should do, what we think they'll do here in this last fourth mock draft. All right, this is set in stone. Fernando Mendoza for the Hoosiers last year, Heisman Trophy winner. We know it. It would be the shock of all. It'd be the biggest draft shock of all time if they didn't take Fernando Mendoza as the draft pick. He will be the choice. Tom Brady is there helping with the Raiders. Mark Davis. It'll be Mendoza for the first pick overall. David Bailey, edge for the Jets. Reese, I don't know if this is locked in stone. I think Bailey, you got to be in that room and you look at Bailey and you look at Reese and you say this is a safer pick in some sense because he is more polished outside linebacker, edge rusher. You can put him on any team. If you are a team that with their hand down, you can put Bailey there. You can put an edge rush there. Safest pick. I think this is what the Jets, I think, will do. Taking Bailey, the more polished. Reese is a good player, just a little bit complex. Maybe teams don't know how to use him. Francis Malioga, number 3 for Arizona Cardinals. I've had this, I think, mocked every time. I definitely think this is the route they're going. Some slippage here, maybe. They've kind of, I think, put out the Jeremiah Love thing. I think that's kind of smoke. I think they feel maybe you can get Malioga a little bit later, move down a bit, kind of convince Tennessee that they're going to do. That's probably what I'm thinking that they're going to do. But I kind of believe that this is the way it's going to play out. Jeremiah Love, I think possibly if there was a really, really good receiver here, you wouldn't get so much run. Easy, best running back in the draft. Not even close. I think he is home run hitter. This guy definitely is a guy, kind of reminds me of Saquon Barkley. Every time the ball's in his hand, he's got the chance to actually take it the other way. Tremendous speed and decent size. He's not just a guy, only speed, got size. I think this is why you take him so high. Not a lot of running backs like this. Tennessee 4. Arvell Reese, John Harbaugh goes ahead and takes Arvell Reese. I've said it a couple times with Reese. You got to have a coach that would know what to do with him. Got to have a coach that would know, because he's still a little green if you really want a true pass rusher. John Harbaugh has had plenty of guys like this. So John Harbaugh will know exactly what to do with the Arvell Reese. Reese is too good to pass up here. I think the trade that they made, they wanted to take 2 defensive players early. The Giants did make a trade. They have the Bengals pick now at 10, which we'll get to. But Reese is not going to drop it to him. I think Reese, I think it's excellent choice here for them. Number 6, Cleveland Browns, Carnell Tate. Tate, I don't think he's the best wide receiver in the draft. But again, safe pick. Most complete in a lot of ways. Definitely the most productive in college. Definitely a guy, decent, deep speed, good route running. He did play next to Jeremiah Smith. So I think that helped, obviously. So if he goes to the Browns, they're going to be looking for him and as a number 2 role initially. But I think Tate, is a solid pro. I don't know if he's a all-timer. Not like it was like go wow when I see him, but definitely all the skills there. Best overall ability. So good off the line, good, decent deep speed, great hands, good separation. So I think like those are all good things. Tate, I think, for the Browns. Number 6, Sonny Styles. I described him as the heat-seeking missile. Just go straight to the football inside linebacker. Here's a guy who's going to go from got good football instincts, go straight to the football as well. Every time you see Sonny Styles highlights, he's heading straight to the ball carrier, straight to. Some guys have that knack, that Derek Brooks, that Ray Lewis, that guys that, not stretching them out that far, but he's got that type of talent. He knows how to get to the football as well. Ruben Bain. I think Bain is the number 1 player in the entire draft. I think as well. The only reason I think he's falling to 8 because I don't think he is what most teams have, that 3-3-5, that 3-4 as well. He's a traditional hand on the ground 4-3 end. So I think like he's kind of failed here. Definitely a top 10 talent. I think this guy's going to be a Pro Bowler for 10 years. He's that good, disruptive. I said it last night in the open mic, and this is kind of what I think of like a guy. Rick Pitino always liked Scottie Pippen because Rick Pitino was trying to get Scottie Pippen to come to Boston when he was head coach, because he runs and runs and runs and never gets tired. That's what I see when it's Ruben Bain. He never gets tired, never takes a play off. So keep that. So Bain, I think, is a stud as well. So great pick for the Saints at 8. Mansour Delane, number 9 for the Chefs. Again, most complete, I think, overall cornerback in the draft. So, like I said a few years ago with Christian Gonzalez, I think that's what you hope for with a Mansour Delane, because he's got good strength off the line. He's got decent speed. Definitely a guy you could put him at safety. You could put him inside as well. And this is prime need for the Chefs, because they definitely, Trent McDuffie's gone. They lost both corners. They have to take a corner. I think they might as well go ahead and take the best corner in the draft. I think here it'd be tempting them to take Caleb Downs, but I think they need the corner more. Downs goes to the Giants. John Harbaugh is going to fly up there tomorrow night. And when he sees Caleb Downs, I think, again, he wanted 2 solid defenders. That's why he made the trade in the top 10. He's got his eyes on Sonny Styles or Reese or Bain, whoever falls. I think this is exactly what he wants. And you definitely get a Caleb Downs, who is, I think, look, he just had Kyle Hamilton. You got Kyle Hamilton here. That's what this guy is outstanding. Swiss Army knife, good at so many things on the field. Caleb Downs, number 10. Spencer Fano slipping a little bit. Had him higher earlier. I think he's pretty good on the right side. You could put him at guard. Best player on the board. They have to do it. They have to do it. The Dolphins could take anything. I mean, it really is hard to say. I mean, who's number one on the board? Take that guy. They have a ton of holes. They're saying they're keeping Achane. I don't know why. For what I don't know if I believe it, but I think like they're keeping it. Well, for what? There's nobody there. So definitely Fano, I think, is the best player on the board. So I definitely think that's what the Dolphins do. Protect Malik Willis in his first season. Kendrick Falk, edge for the Cowboys. Falk seems to be the guy that a lot of teams like. Not surprised because he's a tremendous athlete. So I think, to me, as good as an athlete as he was, as good as he looks and flashes, I like a guy that's a little more polished. I kind of like the other guy, Cassius Howell, but Falk is what I'm hearing more and more. Cowboys definitely need defense, need edge rush. They can use several positions, but I think this is the biggest need for them, the edge rush. I think this is, with all those other guys gone, Styles, all that, etc. Falk, I think, is the biggest need is edge rush, and I think Trump is the best defender, edge rusher on the board at this spot. Mekhi Lemon for the Rams. It must be bad with Puka Nacua. I don't know whatever this is. I'm not as familiar with this situation, but everywhere I'm seeing Mekhi Lemon. So wide receiver. Mekhi Lemon, I think, is the best of all the receivers in the NFL draft. Definitely, he's the guy that you want is going to take the top off as well. It kind of reminds me of Dante Stallworth when I see on Mekhi Lemon. Again, the route running isn't great, but he's so fast it'll work anyway. So hopefully, Dante Stallworth, that higher end Deshaun Jackson, somebody like that. I think definitely he can absolutely be that type of player. Vega Aloni for the Ravens, no question about it. I don't think they have a choice. I've blocked it 4 times because they don't have a choice. This is not a draft where they can go out and they can take a safety corner. Can't mess around with any of that here. You need offensive linemen. The only thing wrong here is maybe you had a center. You got to guard only. Kendrick Sadiq, Keon Sadiq. Bucks are another team that's really kind of hard to take a spot. So I definitely think this is the best player on the board. Baker Mayfield banged up a little bit last year. Did lose Mike Evans, so definitely could use a guy. This guy is probably going to be your most impactful tight end here in the first round. No question about it. I think Sadiq is your guy as well. Bucks, again, could take anybody. Definitely could see them going defense here or their position. But I think if they go with the best player, kind of hearing that, I think Sadiq's the best player on the board at this point. Colton Hood for the Tennessee Titans going to the Jets. Jets, I think, definitely too. Yeah, Jets, I think too. I'm sorry. Back in action. Jets definitely need a corner. They got rid of Hot Sauce Gardner last year. Got rid of some players here to take a pick like this. They badly need a quarterback, but I don't think there's one there. I don't really think they don't really seem to have interest in Ty Simpson from what I can see. So definitely the next best thing. Okay, you go ahead. You got your defensive guy early, David Bailey. You go ahead, get Colton Hood. You get 2 starters on defense, 2 top 16 picks as well. Hood is moving off draft boards. Had some injury issues. I think that's probably the biggest reason he's not higher. Caden Proctor absolutely fixed Detroit. Detroit definitely to Dan Campbell. Where do you want to go? Up front. Big, huge defensive tackle here. So kind of reminds me of years ago, Sean Andrews used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. When I see him, big physical tackle in college, definitely to you could kick him in guard and inside as well. I think that's kind of what they do because I think that's kind of what the Lions need to have. But I think this is a big need for the Lions. That or either DB as well. Two DBs right behind, but I think Cade Proctor's that's going to be the pick. Too good to pass up there as well. Dylan Thiemann, too easy for the Vikings. Harrison Smith, obviously retiring. Tremendous range, this guy, Dylan Thiemann. I mean, tremendous range. He might have the best range in the league already. Like, if we can replicate what we see in college. Definitely range all over the field. Obviously, this guy, he's going to be a starter for a long, long time. And he's going to be playing with Brian Flores, who is an outstanding defensive coach. Emmanuel McNeil Warren for Toledo as well. Definitely a guy, kind of a late riser. Panthers get, again, number of spots. Can't go wrong with this. 3 solid, I think, safeties in the first round. Warren, I think, is definitely the choice here. I think Sadiq would be in play for them. I think if he was still here, but definitely to defense, I can't get enough of that. I think definitely a need here for them. Jamar McCoy, cornerback, Tennessee. I think this guy is the best in terms of physicality at the corner position. And again, injury, I think, probably dropped him a bit. Some people said he's higher than that. So maybe you're getting a guy with top 5 talent a little bit later as well. But physicality, he's not going to get beat off the gym much. I can tell you that. You're not going to have a big wide out, push him around. That's not going to work with Colton, with Jamar McCoy. He's going to be physical at the point of attack. So definitely like him here. Cowboys 20 need defense. Denzel. Not the Oscar winner, but Denzel Boston for the Huskies going to the Squealers. Boston, I think, is I think definitely too raw meat. Definitely too. All the physical tools are there. So I can definitely see scouts and other people looking at him and saying, wow, this guy, because there's a lot of raw meat there. He's got a lot of physical traits. He's got all those things. So definitely he's there. The route running needs to improve. I think he's got to be a little bit more aggressive on the field. I think that's the thing. Now he was at Washington. We will see how he does, but I could definitely see a guy like this with his ability being coached up and definitely doing that. Omar Cooper, perfect fit for him to go to the Chargers as well, where he could just be a part of things, similar type culture to Indiana. Team first. Here's a guy who really moved up. Definitely, you got Fernando Mendoza. How good? Why was he so good? Because you had Omar Cooper to throw the football to. Good, kind of like Carnell Tate. Good all-around skills. Not super fast, but fast enough. Good route running. Good hands. Good separation. All that. So I think there's a guy who's really been impressing people in the workouts and everything late as well, because he's got himself into the first round. Another guy who's got himself to the first round, Blake Miller of the Clemson Tigers as well. Miller, look, the Eagles, this is what they do, right? If this is what they do. Unless one of these great defensive players drops, offensive line, defensive line, you can book it for the first round. This is typical Blake Miller. Here's a guy who's rising as well. Miller, I think, over Freeling here because you could probably put him guard, I think, more than you can a Freeling. I think he has a little bit more versatility as well, even if he's not a better overall player. So I definitely think you put him in that system, I think he'll be fine. Eagles do a great job. Monroe Freeling, I think, is going to be the left tackle of the future for the Cleveland Browns. They definitely have to have it. Wide receiver, 2 big needs, wide receiver, offensive tackle, definitely the needs for the Browns. Freeling, I think Mel Kiper has been raving about it. Best pass blocker, I think, in the draft. Best pure pass blocker. Either him or Malioga were the best ones. He doesn't have Malioga's physicality. That's why he's not as high. But definitely 2 best pass blocker in the draft. K. McDonald definitely moved up, I think, to here. Number 25 for the Bears, D tackle, makes all the sense in the world. Defensive line is definitely where they got to go. Caden McDonald for the Chicago Bears. So maybe edge rush I could see it here, but with the Kate McDonald sitting there, kind of fits exactly what they do. 3 technique D tackle. Um, Definitely, I think that's a good fit. Cassius Howe, I like a lot. This is a great pick for the Bills. Definitely, too, you can never have enough edge rushers. They're going into a new stadium. Howe, I think, is productive. The question is his college productivity going to match in the NFL? Because the team definitely needs pass rush. I think this is a great system for him to be into. You got Ed Oliver there. You already have a good defensive line. He could be part of a rotation. Wouldn't have to carry the load. I like it here as well. So I think too would have to play in Buffalo though, like hand on the ground more than I saw at Texas A&M. So that's a little bit of a thing, but I'm not worried. This guy is really was productive. Texas A&M. Even though I know they signed Trent Williams, Caleb Lamu for the Utes, kind of forgotten about. Kind of was much higher doing early in the draft process, so he's like kind of fell here, feeling Blake Miller kind of surpassed him a little bit here, but this is definitely a guy I think too. Guard might be his position too. I think a lot of these guys, like these right side guys, they kind of like you can put them in guard as well. But I like Caleb Lyman. I think this is definitely a fine choice here at 27, 28. Christian Miller for the Bulldogs. Get Tony. Bulldog Talk knows all about this guy. To go ahead and tell us about Christian Miller. I think D tackle. I think just a good solid D tackle when I see him. I think good size. These Georgia tackles are huge a lot of times, and I think this guy is no exception as well. Texas definitely need that as well. A lot of linemen are gone, offensive linemen, so they definitely that. But D tackle is fine for the Texans. I think Christian Miller, I think, is a good choice. Jordan Tyson, I have 29 for the Chefs. Differing opinions on Tyson. I think some people have him much higher. Not as high on him. Not super fast. Not hands are solid. Route running is terrific, but not great speed and had some injury issues. So I kind of worry about that a little bit as well. However, in Kansas City, I think that'll be just fine. He doesn't have to go and be the number one receiver there as well. They kind of have a bit of an ensemble. That type of player is something that they can use. So I definitely see Tyson upside is definitely there. He's the opposite of the next guy, Casey Concepcion. Great speed. Period. Definitely too. Look, you can play receiver in the NFL when you can go 0 to 60 like Casey's Concepcion. Definitely he can do it. Certain guys can, there's speed and there's acceleration. He's got that acceleration. So how fast can you get there immediately? As soon as he runs, boom, he's up the field. No question about it. He gets in the right spot. I'm not sure what's going on in Miami but Concepcion is definitely is. Hakeem Messidor is not the pick. There's not Diana Rossini. It's not the pick. Messidor is the pick for the Patriots. This guy's phenomenal. I mean, the only problem I have, I think the reason why he's not even higher is because of his age. That's a real thing. He's going to be 25, 26 going in the league. So I think some teams are going to shy away from that as well. I know the Ravens, Eric DeCosta likes guys a little younger. And I think teams overall are kind of watching that now with with college eligibility being longer. That's a real thing. So we will see about that. And Jadarian Price for Notre Dame. I think this guy's a solid running back. I definitely think this fits for them. They lost Kenneth Walker. So this is a team that just won the Super Bowl. You obviously don't have a lot of needs. I definitely think this is probably their biggest need. And you could take a guy here, maybe about 10 spots high, but it's okay. Like you definitely need it. I definitely think he can play Jadarian Price for the Seahawks. There you go. All right.